part of her process was trying to answer those questions.
But you're not going to get those answers.
Sometimes it's the process that helps you get to the answer of understanding I'm not going to get an answer.
Myself, I did therapy a lot towards the end of my marriage because I wanted to save it.
It's like church.
How?
Folk be about to die, they go to church, they find God.
Oh, well, that's true. But
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to yet another episode of the She Say, He Say podcast. I'm here again with my sister, as always, Brandi Banks.
Hi, guys.
And we have another great episode for y'all today. We're bringing y'all knowledge. Y'all hear what I said? Knowledge today. We are here with the one and only Miss Trina today.
Hey, how you doing?
We're going to give y'all some knowledge today. Brandi, bring us in, man.
So we have talked a lot on this podcast about therapy and the taboo, especially in the Black culture of therapy. And today we have Dr. Trina, who is...
I am so sorry. Dr. Trina. My bad.
Yes. Not
I said Miss Trina. I just said my bad.
Don't disrespect.
I'm good.
That's hard
Trina.
work. That's hard work.
Dr. Trina. My bad.
So we have, I know you guys have heard me say that we were going to have Dr. Trina on, and we are just so thankful and blessed that she was able to come out today and share with us. And we just want to kind of just have a conversation because I want people to realize that therapy is not a taboo, that it is okay to say I'm not okay. And one of the things that I noticed, especially in my family, or our family, I don't know why we get on this.
Y'all are related, right?
Yes,
Okay.
we do this all the time.
She say my dad, my
mom,
It
and we
happens.
are
It happens.
come from the same everything. So I know in our families, especially in our families, we don't say we're not okay. I can say it to my parents, I can say it to my brothers, but it's weird when I say it to my aunts or my uncles or my cousins. And I will say this, our family is, we're not balling out of control, but everybody is successful in their own right? Everybody, most of them went to college. If they didn't, they kind of made sure that, they can take care of themselves and their children, and everybody is living well. So it's almost like embarrassment when you feel like you need them, but you can't really ask them. In any aspect, right? Not just financially, but just any aspect, right? Okay. I was the rebel of the family, so I did a lot of things backwards, different, upside down, merry-go-round around the corner.
She beating around the bush. She did that shit wrong. Oh my God. Like, it was wrong, dead wrong.
And it was. And so for me, it was like, I remember being younger and my dad was like, I don't know how to handle this. Like, I don't know what to do with this girl. And at Kaiser, at the time, we were with Kaiser, and he took me to therapy. And I sat with the therapist by myself, and then finally my father came in, right? And so, I've kind of had a touch in therapy a lot sooner than possibly my siblings, especially you. Because I think I was like 13, 14 when Dad was like, I can't take her no more. We got to figure this out. But I see in the community that it's just such a taboo. It's like no one wants to go in marriages. The man is pretty much like against it totally until it's almost over. When the marriage is almost, when it is like no more fight left, it's like, I'll go to therapy with you. But at that point in time, I know for me, I'm speaking just for myself, I did therapy a lot towards the end of my marriage because I wanted to save it.
It's like church.
How?
Folk, we about to die, they go to church, they find God.
Oh, well, that's true.
You know what I'm saying?
But I look at it where it was like, had we been going to marriage counseling, marriage therapy or whatever, we could have fixed a lot of the stuff that was broken. By this point, it's dead. You know what I mean? And so I just wanted to
I'm gonna shine a light on it.
shine a light on it because I know it has helped us, like, tremendously.
Yeah. Honestly, I would say that therapy has not only helped me, it has helped others because I'm the type of person that, now, I went to Dr. Trina, y'all. She was my therapist. I went to marriage counseling. So I went to marriage counseling, and I went to like a therapist for like, I don't know what you
Wait,
call
you
that.
went to premarital counseling
At the church, but
Right.
but we was going through some things, so I went to therapy, like a couples therapy,
Oh, okay.
and then after that, I went to Miss Trina because that was in Portuguese, and I was like, nah, I need to speak somebody English. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So then I went to Dr. Trina. I'm not gonna say Miss Trina, but Dr. Trina, and but ever since then, I've been going to therapy ever since, and what I would say is a lot of people think that therapy is whatever the taboo is, but therapy has not only helped me, but it helped a lot of other people because I'm not the person who just goes to therapy. Oh yeah, tell me what's wrong with me and I'm gonna fix it. I ask questions, especially now. I'm like, okay, you feel this way, but why? Why did you tell me how you feel about whatever? Why, whatever. So I have started to realize, I've started to be able to see in other people when they sometimes just need to vent.
Right.
And that's their own therapy. I don't gotta tell them nothing. They sometimes just need to let it out. Because a lot of times, some people say stuff, and just by them saying it out loud, they be like, okay, never mind. I got it. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
real, yeah.
So I appreciate therapy and all of the whole experience, the whole whatever the path of therapy, because I can see that I've helped other people,
Right.
and not just of course myself, but I feel like I'm on this planet to help other people. So yeah, I got to get me right so I can help other people. So I appreciate it. So we appreciate you and your profession and sharing this time with us. And yeah.
So I want to ask you for, like, how do you, when you have people that are reluctant against therapy, right, or against counseling, or against any type of outsiders, because that's how they put it, though. It's like, I don't need nobody outside telling me what I'm doing in my business. What is one of the things that you say, or how you convince? And I won't even say convince, because I don't think you have to sell it.
I think you gotta want it. If you don't want to go, you.
But how do you deal with it as far as people coming in reluctant to have a conversation with you?
So for me, I usually just let people know I am simply here as somebody to listen to give you a perspective you may not have already thought about, to maybe help you learn a new skill, right? Mm-hmm. I tell them it's not because something is wrong with you. It's not because you're crazy. Some secrets ain't good secrets. Because when you think about all the different reasons why people don't come, I don't want nobody to judge me. I don't want nobody to think I'm weak. I don't want, my business out there. I don't want, I'm strong. If I don't handle this on my own, then that means something's wrong with me. I don't want nobody thinking I'm crazy. So I try to nip all those in the bud from the start. I'm simply here to listen. When I'm working with the kids, I tell them I'm somebody outside of your parents and your friends. I can help you see things in a different thing so that you can think about what you want to do. When I'm dealing with adults, I'm saying, this is going to be what you put into it. If there are things going on and you're not willing to talk about them, I'm not going to make you.
Right.
I am simply here to listen, to help you to get past whatever is blocking you right now.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And some people that works for us. Some people just still sit there and it's just like, yeah, okay. Yeah. And I usually start off with light stuff. With kids, I'm usually doing some type of play therapy. We engaging in games. They always want to talk about themselves. With adults, it's just tell me how your day went. What's going on with that? I'm asking questions that are just, as you all said, we just having a conversation. Mm-hmm. And then, you slide a little bit of therapy in there.
Right.
And eventually it gets to, I don't need like talking to you no more. You always making me cry. You always making me think of stuff. Okay, when can I get on your schedule next week?
Right.
You know? I'm like, okay. But that's my approach.
Okay. So we just did this thing a couple of weeks ago, I believe it was. Me and my brother got into this huge argument about therapy being relationships. Like, I need to, and I have told him, because I've gone to therapy where I did not know my doctor at all, right? She was the person that was on the schedule. I talked to her. And for me, I kind of like not having a relationship with the person because of the fact that it's a personal, let's put it that way, a personal relationship with the person. Because at that moment in time, I was going through a divorce. And it was like, I don't want to talk about the rest of the stuff. I want to figure out this part.
Hold on. When you say personal, what you mean by personal? Like, you know the person?
So, like, I know the person, I hang out with the person, I see the person, I talk to, like,
so that was my hang up when I started talking to you. I was like, nah, she know who I am, she know my folks. All she gonna do is she a teacher. Yeah, she gonna
something.
if I misbehave, whatever I say, she gonna go back and tell my father. You know what I'm saying? So I was real like, but that's not what it was. And I do not agree with you on that right there. I would like to see the same person over and over and over and over.
I think eventually it gets to that point. I don't skip out.
No, but if you seeing somebody different.
No, I see one person, right? But I don't see that, like, I don't know this person. Like, when I first...
So hold on, pause, wait. First, you are not supposed to work with a therapist who is your friend.
Thank you.
When I worked with you, sir, you were not my client.
No.
You were somebody that we were having conversations. Ethically, we cannot give therapy to our friends, to our family members, for the very reasons that you guys are talking about.
Right.
You know, we see each other socially. We hang out. You ain't going to do that with your therapist.
Nah.
Right.
So there is a fine line between, hey, my friend is having a challenge, let me sit down and listen, versus now I'm going to sit down and charge you a fee, or if they're doing it pro bono, for example, and now I'm giving you a clinical service.
Okay.
But I feel like what they were talking about at the time was if I see the same person, like I've been seeing the same person now for about a year and some change. We have she knows kind of who I am. I would say we have a relationship. I can take relationship how I want it, but like we have a professional relationship.
But you do. Yeah. There is a client-therapist relationship.
Yes.
And that's why people say, I ain't click with that therapist. I wasn't feeling them.
Exactly.
I'm going to somebody else.
Right.
Or, I don't care where this therapist goes. We working well together. You move to Guam, I'm going with you. I'm going to always see you.
Yep.
So it is based on a relationship, the rapport that you build with each other, but it still has to remain a professional relationship.
Right. Okay.
Now I don't remember exactly what side you stood on in that argument, but I am 100%. I don't want to have to explain everything that went on with me.
And that's what they say. I don't want to start over.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to tell somebody
like,
else.
I mean,
this lady,
change.
she like a. I don't know how old she is, but she older. You know what I'm saying? And I be like, ma'am, I'm not trying to say. She be like, nah. Let it out. Go ahead. So I have said everything. I don't want to say it all over again.
Right.
And I because now if I say something to her like this went on, whatever. I went this place to see somebody or whatever, and she like, well, you remember that you said this and you felt this way about this situation, and I appreciate that because she bring up things that like maybe I ain't think about.
Right.
And I feel like if you like, because when you said we was with Kaiser and I met the person that was on the schedule that day, I thought you were seeing different people.
No, I saw her as I was with Kaiser, because that's the thing. Switch a job, switch health benefits.
Yep.
Can't go to that person anymore. So now I got to find another therapist.
I'm gonna tag you there, because you can still go to the other one. It still might cost you.
Yeah,
more,
it's going. Yeah.
And that's what a lot of people do, though, when it's like, oh, my insurance changed, So do I really want to stay with the therapist that I'm really good with
Yes.
and now pay out of pocket, or do I want to go over here and just pay the $15 with this new person?
Right.
You
And
right.
that's something the client got to decide.
Right.
And a lot of them do decide to stay.
Yeah, I would pay out of pocket because I feel like if you find somebody you click with, because therapy I don't know, but it's like, it's kind of deep. That's, you know what I'm saying? It get kind of deep, bro. Like, you let some stuff, like, I don't know if, I know I spoke to I know I spoke to our parents about it, but after I spoke to you and we talked about stuff like family-wise, I went and I found this thing on the internet, and I saved it in my phone, and I showed it to him. I was like, yo, this is how I feel in the family dynamic here. But I hadn't said anything. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like that. Why would I go elsewhere? Like, you can't just keep changing. You can't.
No,
you know
I
what
get
I'm saying?
that. I get that. But I'm just saying, like, sometimes the insurance change. There are a lot of things that play into that.
I'm just let y'all know. Dr. Trina here is the reason I tell y'all no. Now.
Thank you so
Look,
much.
I don't know how I feel about that right now.
Yeah,
but
I don't
guess
know
I have
either.
to take it.
I feel good. Won't he do it? He put Dr. Trina in my life for a reason. I tell y'all no now, man.
So
But yeah.
another thing is for what I have encountered. So especially in the Black community, I know everybody has heard this from grandma to great grandma. Our business, our business. Don't take this out the house, right? I feel like we have gotten to a place where our kids suffer internally. We suffer internally. And I get it. Like, there are a lot of things that go on in people's lives, and it's like, I don't want to talk about this. I don't want and this is recent. Like, this is probably within the last 5 years I've been able to say and articulate I'm not okay.
Okay.
So when I went through the divorce and we were in COVID, I mean, I was literally like, don't talk to me, don't say nothing, leave me in my room, it's dark. That's when I started my therapy. Like, I had to come out of it.
And that was, just 1 second, that was crazy because I had already been doing therapy. But I wasn't speaking on it. So no one knew that I was going through anything besides my father, my wife, you, and my mother. So I saw what she was going through, but I couldn't tell her what I was going through at the time.
And why is that?
Because I don't know. Because I wanted to keep what I was going through. Oh, because everybody was there. It was during COVID, so everybody was there,
But
and I knew who she was. So if she would have knew everything that was going on in my relationship, she was going to judge that woman. That environment was going to become toxic.
I was going to put hands on that woman.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Sorry.
Yeah.
She's been recording. She still said what she said. You know what I'm saying? So
She made it clear.
but I knew what I was dealing with. So I was like, I can't do that, and I don't want to be a burden on anybody else.
Right.
So I was like, I'm gonna keep that with me. You know what I'm saying? And the people I'm talking to. But it wasn't until afterwards we was right here in this kitchen. I don't know if y'all can see right there in front of that refrigerator right there. She was going on about something, and I was like, yo, you need to listen. This is what was going on with me during that same time that you was going through everything you was going through. But you never knew that.
Because mine was public. Mine was like out in the open. Everybody, I mean, my whole family knew.
Okay.
Because he made it public. It was a struggle. His was quiet.
Because I kept it quiet.
It was very quiet, well, she couldn't speak English. So therefore,
you
ain't
were in a
nobody.
situation where you had a little more control, so you could
Yeah,
keep it
I
quiet.
didn't have control over anything. It was just war after war after war. And so my way of dealing with things is I shut down, right, from everybody around me.
Right.
And it's sad to say, even my children. Like, I knew I couldn't be a parent at that moment. I could not be a parent. I was so angry. I was so just upside down. And not because of the marriage. Because, see, divorce is one thing. Because I'm a fighter. So adrenaline is pumping. I'm ready to go. You swing, I swing. But once the dust settles and I'm divorced and I'm back to Brandi Banks.
Oh, she hurt.
Now I'm grieving.
Yeah, because now you're licking your wounds.
Exactly. Or not even, because it's a death.
Yes, it is. It's a loss.
It's a death. And for me, it was like, why do I feel like this? I was in the right. You know what I mean? Like, I knew I didn't do anything in the divorce to hurt him. Mm-hmm. Right? But everything was directed to me to hurt me within the divorce. We weren't on bad terms. There was no infidelity or anything like that. We just didn't get along. It just didn't work. But instead of going for his jugular, he went for mine. And so for me, it was like, I'm dealing with all of these thoughts and I'm trying to process this thing. And I'm not unfortunate because I was blessed to have a place to live after we had to sell the house. But it was like, now I got COVID. I got all these people. I mean, every brother, my mother, my father, sister-in-law, everybody's here. And I can't function. I can't get a grip on this. And so it wasn't until after therapy that I did come to them. And I had to apologize because I was a complete jerk. Right? I mean, I just was. I didn't want to talk to nobody. I was a jerk.
You was a jerk. And we were jerks because I go to therapy now. You know what I'm saying? But we were jerks also because we didn't know we couldn't comprehend what she was going through.
Okay.
So it was just like, everybody was just acting as, we were just savages. Like, yo, this is how you should act. Yeah, whatever you're going through, whatever, this is how we think you should act. And we was just reacting, you know what I'm saying? Instead of thinking about, oh, she's going through this, maybe, you know what I'm saying? So we were protectors. We were trying to be protectors.
And it was also because I remember you saying like, all right, and so what? You know, like.
Because she want answers.
But see, and that's the other piece regarding therapy, though. It's like, why are you tripping?
See,
brush it off. You all right? You good.
I don't know how many times I told her.
But that's where the whole, I can't tell nobody I need help. I can't say I'm hurting because my family, the ones I want to go to, sitting here telling me, man up. You good. It could be worse. What's wrong? Stop tripping over this.
Okay, so...
See, yeah, because you were excited.
Wait a minute.
Shut that down.
I did.
Thank you, Dr. Trina. I appreciate it. Because I saw his excitement, and then the face dropped.
It did.
I hope you zoom in on that one. Yes.
Look, she's talking about my editing, y'all. Hold on. So, Dr. Trina, so my issue was, she would say to me, the thing is over. It's over. Like, you know what I'm saying? Okay. But then she would say, but why did this person, did such and such, act like they acted? Why did they do what they did? But it is over.
Okay.
So what are we asking questions?
Man, as human beings, we seek to understand.
Thank you.
Even in death, we are saying, why did this happen? So part of her process was trying to answer those questions.
But you're not going to get those answers.
Sometimes it's the process that helps you get to the answer of understanding I'm not going to get an answer.
Look at God.
Okay, so I was...
I got a feeling I ain't going to be invited back.
No. This is good.
This is my show. No, I'm just saying. This is our show.
Don't let me say, I will cut these cameras. I remember like this. We was at Piedmont. We was at the airport, and you asked me. You was like, I think I had punished Dallas. I did something to Dallas, and you was like, I just want to know why he did whatever he did.
Okay.
And I'm like, who cares why he is who he is? He is who he has shown who he is. We understand now that we are moving forward. Who cares? We don't need to understand why he is who he is.
So there's where my disconnect came from. And that's why I didn't want to talk to them. Because it's like...
Because that is shutting you down.
Exactly. And they look at me where it's like, bro, you've been through worse. Like, you got a kid, and you went through worse with the father. But it's
but see, what the therapist would do is to figure out what the real question is underneath the question. You asking, why did he do this? That ain't really what you want to know. The question really might be, why did I allow this to happen? or what's wrong with me that he did this to me. So when a question is posed, it's like, why you ask that question and what's really behind that question?
Right.
But a lot of people, family and friends, they take you face value for the question. The question is just the gateway to the conversation.
And I was like, I see my sister, she's hurt.
And you want her to stop hurting.
I see what has hurt her. I see that it's nothing we can do about it. It's over. So what are we asking questions for about why the person is who they are?
But I also think too, let me add, I think because I have always been the fighter. I have always been the strong one. So they didn't see me in a vulnerable state a lot, right? Never. It's very rare that you'll see it now more than you ever did when I was younger. And I think for them, it's like, dude, like, what are we doing? Like, why are you out of it? Because even the job at the airport, I was like, how am I travel? How am I do all this stuff? Like, I'm used to his income or whatever. And he was like, I got you. Don't worry about it. Here's a job. Here's a part-time job. So it was him fixing, but at the same time, it was internal. It wasn't about the money. It wasn't about the travel. I mean, that was an issue, but it was more internal of trying to cope with the fact that this marriage did not work. Failure for me is not I hate to fail. And I felt like I failed in that situation. And so for people outside of us, like I'm going to take myself out of it now. I think that's where a lot of people are. It's like, I don't want to fail. So I'm going to hold on to whatever it is that I can. But I'm going to kind of hold on to it I'm a feed into it at the last minute. I'm a try to go to therapy. I'm going to do everything that I can at the last minute when you kind of already built your way up to.
But a lot of that last minute stuff is usually one partner begging the other one, please, oh please, can we go to therapy now? And that other partner is like, yeah, okay. And they really just sitting there either to check the box off, to say they did it, or I'm going to go to therapy with you so I can tell you all the reasons why you were a foul individual. Mm-hmm. It's not really to work on the relationship. So even when couples come to me, I tell them, I'm not here to tell you if you should stay together or not. I'm not here to fix your relationship. I'm here to help you learn how to communicate and most of the time, how to be better co-parents.
Okay. That makes sense.
I'm glad I'm not a therapist. Because if I would ask one question, is this the beginning or the end of the problem? If it's the end of the problem, go ahead and break up, bro.
Thank God you're not a therapist.
Because real talk, bro. Because I think that happens a lot.
It does.
And
they
I'm
come
like,
at the end just to say they came.
Yeah.
Right.
One of them anyway.
And if so let's just put me. If I'm just going just to say that I came. And at the end, I'm going to feel like if we together, and I say I went just so I can say that I came, but we together, if I'm you, I can't trust that you still want to be in this. Because you just went and she convinced you to stay. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm glad I'm not a therapist.
Yeah, and I mean, and again, I think for both of us, going through the same thing pretty much at the same time.
And not letting each other know.
Yeah, that's crazy. And we were in the same house. That was really crazy. But I think for us, the way I move in life, the way he moves in life, we are both intentional with what we learned in therapy and intentional about putting in place in our lives, period. Like, there are times where he irks the last nerve.
That's part of his job, though.
I know.
Okay.
But at one point, I didn't, because he irks it, and that my other brother, now that one gets under my skin. He just irks the nerve. He just kind of...
He dances on it.
That's because I go to therapy.
Yeah.
So I know
that's what it is.
You know,
he know where he
I know where I can
got
go.
skills.
But when he get with that other one, I'm ready to kill both of them.
See, and that I feel like we can do this. We got a therapist here. I feel like you're wrong about that because I overheard that. I feel like you're wrong.
You do.
I don't.
Even the youngest one said, "Y'all jump me."
No.
He told me. He said when he come around, you get the old one. I get the little one.
She feels like so. My older brother.
I am not here to do therapy.
I know.
Right?
I know.
Okay.
You're right.
So yeah, so it's like but it's my feelings, and I know because I was telling my father the other day that there are some things in my life that I see differently, and he doesn't like it. And I said,
like it?
my dad.
Okay.
And so I told him, I was like, with my brothers, I know I can go to war with my brothers, but they will always be my brothers. I don't care if we like each other or not. That's a fact. They will always be my brothers.
And that's the safety of that relationship. And hopefully, whoever your spouse is, you can do the same with them.
Jim. She dropped it, Jim.
That was a gem. We got to put some music behind that one.
I mean, but real talk, you want to be safe enough to be able to say, let me tell you how I really feel. And yes, you were foul. And no, I don't want to speak to you today. And get your own damn dinner or whatever.
Right.
And then still know that you're going to love each other tomorrow.
Exactly.
Can I ask a question? Do you remember, I don't know what episode it was, we talked about that dude taking care of that woman? You think that woman would ever say that? Why? Because she can't do nothing on her own.
my God,
My bad.
yo.
All right. So I'm tripping?
Yeah.
Am I tripping?
This over my head. Okay.
My bad.
Anyway.
All right.
So no, but I again, I would hope that we can have you on more.
Absolutely.
Yes. And it's not, I really don't. I just want people to see that the title is different. You are still a person. You are still down to earth. You are who you are.
I still got my own issues and my own therapist.
And I would like to ask a question as a black man. I feel like a lot of us feel like you cannot be weak. You cannot go to therapy.
Come on, that's how we raise our black boys.
So you please speak on that. Just what would you say to the black men out here? Because we raise them like that, but at the end of the day, we all human. So what would you say to them?
To them, I would say, if you want to lead your family, as we were told black men should do, then you need to be mentally sane enough to do so. And sometimes in order to be mentally sane, you need somebody else outside the family to talk to. Somebody that's going to give you an honest truth, somebody who is not invested one way or the other, somebody who says, here are the pros and here are the cons. You decide what's best for you, because at the end of the day, you the one that got to deal with the consequences. I'm just here to help you make the best decision you can. That's what I would say to those individuals. Just because you think you got to do it alone, you really don't.
That makes sense.
That makes a ton of sense. And that was kind of what we were speaking about with bringing people into your relationship. When we were talking about we have a cousin who, she's not a therapist, but she is sane.
She is
Sane.
sane.
Like,
At times.
Yeah.
Love you, boo.
Yeah. But I was talking about how she has, I go to therapy, she has our cousin, she also goes to therapy, but not everybody has that situation where they have that cousin that I'm gonna go to is gonna give me sane information.
Right.
So I was like, it's a slippery slope with bringing people into your relationships or your life or whatever to get that type of information from them. So yeah, I appreciate you.
Yeah, because I mean, we have our dad. Like our dad is one.
But my father, and you know my father, he's different. He's different.
Is.
He's different than who, and it is kind of crazy because who he raised, we are different from our father.
Okay.
So now that I'm older and I have seen things and I've done things, I'm like, yeah, I can talk to you, but it's only so much. You know what I'm saying? That I'm like, some stuff I'm like, bro, you ain't even done this. You know what I'm saying? So it's like so you know you that's why I feel like therapy is.
But yeah, I mean,
Essential.
because I talk to my dad a lot. I talk to him about dating. I talk to him about the kids. I talk to him a lot. I talk to him because my father has never really judged me, but I have learned my lesson that I can't always talk to him about, especially my relationships with dating, because I feel like, or them, I can't talk to anybody until I'm ready to put that man in front of them. Like, I know this is serious. I can't, because they will automatically have a guard up, because it's like, oh, I know what you did to her.
Oh, absolutely.
I remember that situation.
Man, that's a whole nother, look.
Yeah,
that's
so,
another show, okay?
Yeah,
we bring her back.
Don't do that, yeah.
So I definitely appreciate you coming on here. I definitely appreciate you kind of shedding some positive light on why therapy can be a positive situation for a lot of people. Again, I would really like to have you come on, just as
regularly.
On our special
Let's
guest.
check in.
And just
like in therapy.
Yeah, exactly.
Check in.
So, because I feel like people are suffering in silence.
Absolutely.
And we are starting to hit record numbers of, especially in the Black community, of suicides in our children, because they feel like they can't handle things, or my parents just don't understand.
Our kids today have fewer coping skills than ever before.
Yeah.
So when they are faced with challenges, for them it's all or nothing. For them it's, this is right here, and now it is a freaking catastrophe, and now my life needs to end because I can't handle the fact that little Johnny don't like me.
Right.
And that, again, that's just another whole thing. But our kids today don't have the coping skills that any of us had. We had to...
Do you think, I'm sorry, but I'm boiling over here. Do you think that is parenting?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. That's this.
Absolutely. It's parenting, and it's society has the impact on our kids that says all this.
It's the gentle parenting syndrome.
They did not come out the womb like this. This is what they learned.
So I'm glad you said that, because this is something that I feel strongly about. It says, my parents spanked me as a child. As a result, I now suffer from a psychological condition known as respect for others.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Bro, 100%. I'm a fan. Sorry. I'm not one.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I again, like I said, literally my dad was just like, I don't know what to do with this girl. Because I was very stubborn. I was very on my, I wanted to do things my way. And I would take the consequences.
She was crazy.
So I would take.
He held his course with you. He did what he needed to do. And look how wonderfully you came out.
He snatched her up, though.
Look at go.
Okay.
Yeah.
He snatched
a couple
her up.
of times,
Him
I'm
and
sure.
Mom.
Hey.
Him and Mom.
My father skipped 12 steps and 2 steps.
And I was right by my door. My feet did like this. I went nowhere.
And you got
Snatched her
yoked.
up.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, so,
But that's another whole conversation too,
Yeah,
because parenting and firm parenting, and then the line of abuse. That's just another whole,
Yeah, we talked
and
about
that's gotten
that.
very blurred.
We'll get back
and
to
that's
that.
where we are now.
Yeah, we talked about that because somebody thought I was abusing my child because I said something very, sit up straight.
Stern.
When I was stern.
I saw that show.
Yeah. And I was like, have you got to be kidding me?
But that speaks to them and their understanding of what's supposed to happen.
Right.
Because clearly the only way you can get this type of respect from your child is if you are out of order.
Right.
When that's what we have expected all along. I dare you not to respond to me.
Right.
Anyway.
I'm going to ask a question. We're going to end the show because we over the time.
The answer is no.
Do you think that children should have some type of a fear of their
this
parent?
goes back to this show. So my opinion is you have to define fear.
Yeah. There will be a consequence to me doing what I'm doing. And it won't be the best.
There is a difference between the fear of the person and the fear of the consequence the person will implement.
All right, we're going to have to bring you back because that got deep. And I got to ask some more questions. And we out of
Okay, but the short thing, I may not be afraid of my father, but I know my father will yoke the whatever out of me, and I'm afraid of that.
Which I say, that part.
Yeah.
All of that. We missing that in today's generation.
Yeah, because nowadays, if you put your hands on me, I'm going to call CPS, and now you got to deal with it. Therapy.
It's
a life.
Life
It gives you
changer.
life.
Changed my life. I appreciate you and everybody else in that profession. I really do appreciate y'all, man. And Brandi, you good?
I'm good.
Dr. Trina, you good?
I'm good.
Hey, man, we appreciate y'all for watching this episode, man. Share, like, and subscribe to the channel, man. We appreciate y'all, and we'll see y'all next time, man. Brandi, close us out.
Bye, guys.